Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, this is going to be a Divine Masculine Snoopy check-in. I'm going to get into the psyches of these Divine Masculines, into the heart and soul, and see what do they appreciate about you? What do they see in you? What do they know that the two of you are mirroring at this time? What synchronicities have they seen? What are they talking to others about, and where are they at regarding the obstacles to union here? So let's get into it. I'm also going to look at, so each of these energies, I'm going to see some things like, what else do you need to know about it? What would they say to you about these things directly? If they had no filter, no fear, what's transpiring energetically, and advice for you. So let's get into the first one. What do these beautiful Divine Masculines appreciate about their Divine Feminines? So bring it on. Thank you, Divine Creator. What is it we can see about the Divine Masculine perspective at this time? What are they appreciating about their DFs? Oh, this is my card of sovereignty, autonomy. This is lovely because in the upright, this is like happy, healthy, whole. In the inverse, it's my codependent card. It's in the neutral position, which means they're no longer like good on their own in the sense that they don't want anybody else. They're no longer, viewing this connection as codependent. They're seeing this balanced way of looking at it. What do you need to know? So this is what they appreciate, that you're level. You are mature, you are wise, and you do see both sides of the coin. You see it from their side, you see it from your side. You unconditionally love them, but you still prefer them. They know this. They appreciate this, that the love is real. The love is real. So what else do we need to see about this energy? What is the backstory? What more to it? Okay, Prince of Swords in the reverse. Even though you haven't said these things, actions speak louder than words. So they don't feel they have to tell you that they see this. They're still there. They're still in your reference field. So this is stuff they haven't told you directly, or things that you've had to sell them on, convince them. This is them just viewing your energy, seeing your energy. What would they say to the Divine Feminines about this? You have so many choices and options, yet you still hold the line with me, and I don't want to lose you. So they're realizing that it may not be a question of losing you or not. With that in the inverse, they know that this is what keeps you in check regarding the connection with them. They do also feel like you would be a catch for anyone. And so they are starting to feel a little bit of the pressure of, why would they have such a perfect counterpart available to them and yet resist it? So it's starting to really be impressed upon them that you actually, you're not chasing, you really mean it. Like, they're seeing that the effort, the energy, the attention, the focus you give them is not out of a need. It's because you are showing up and you want to. It's not a void. It's not a codependent. You're not compensating for something. And they do know darn well you have other options. You are too magnetic. You're too awesome. And maybe they've heard directly or indirectly about your other options, or how people are around you, or they just feel that would be the case. Or if you're in a connection, they know that you're not, chop liver. This is what I heard. Okay, so what is energetically transpiring regarding these energies? Ooh, on the floor, 1 sec. Temple of Meditation, Communion, Contemplation, Higher Mind. So, this is a reflection of your energy. So this means you're coming to terms with the fact that you don't actually need this person, that they are your choice, that you're genuinely choosing them, that it's not a matter of, wanting them to fill a void either. This is being discussed in the 5D and the energetics, and this is something you don't even need to be conscious of. If your energy, if what you're exuding is in alignment with this, it just precedes you. This is your wholeness preceding you. Okay, what is the advice? I'm going to actually shuffle this deck and then split it because it's so large that I have trouble doing that kind of shuffling. So what do we see? Sacral chakra. Okay, sensual connection. Sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. So, you know, you've healed your sacral chakra. This is that balanced sensuality and the intimate point of contact with a monogamous relationship, with an abundant life, with a divinely guided way of navigating. You know what's good for you, and you're representing that in all walks of your life. Your counterpart knows this. You've become whole. Well done, divine feminines. Okay, what can we see for, what do they see in you specifically that they're intrigued with at this point? We got the Twin Flame card. It is a card of putting oneself out of their comfort zone. So they see you continually finding victory in your life. There's the victory V. By stepping out of your comfort zone and not taking no for an answer, not letting life and circumstances have power over you. You go for the things that you want to see success in. They see this tenacity. They see this perseverance. They see this creativity. They see this in you. They see that you basically know what you want and lean back and let it happen because you are sure, because you are confident, because you know you are worthy of it. So they see this example in you. Let's get some more backstory for my viewers. What can we know about the backstory here? Yeah, justice. This is interesting because it does talk about, you know, marital situations, legal matters, things, karmically speaking, things that you've had to clean up in your reality. They're seeing you come through with flying colors. Not only that you are winning and having justice served, but your attitude is so good. You're not gossiping, you're not negative, you're not pointing the finger, you're not being unruly and rude. You are owning it. They see that this is an embodiment. You are something else. You're not typical. You're not like the gossipy, petty, karmic energies that don't know, those who talk that don't know. You just have this grace and calm, cool, collected mastery about you. It's like they just see you as someone who understands what is what and trust the process. You trust the process. You're not very shaken. You have a firm foundation, and so you're immovable in the physical world. You have mastered the physical concerns, I just heard. So what would they say to you about this if they could? Neutral. I meant what I said in the neutral position. So I'm specifically hearing if they said goodbye, they're not so sure they wanted to say goodbye anymore, because this infallible character, this resilient nature of yours is impressing upon them that, you know, they've been the one that's been hot and cold ghosting, or, you know, they may not have understood that it's been a tandem effort, but as you balance out, this is what causes them now to say, wait, did I mean what I said? Did I mean it was over? Did I mean to block them? Did I think this wasn't possibly for us? As you become sure, they come out of that definite legalistic, I meant what I said, and now they're like, or did I? Maybe I was always just wanting it to feel better. And so now that that's happening, now that they're seeing your true character because you're seeing it, they are staying with it a little longer and saying, I meant what I said under the circumstances I said it in, but possibly things are shifting, and so now I can add that caveat. What is energetically transpiring because of this awareness of, like, recognition of what is within you? Seal of Venus, self-love, protection. Rejection is divine protection. They may have rejected you in the past, but it's because this level of surety and wholeness needed to come in and establish. And now that it is, they're like, oh, how you doing? And that's not fickle. That is absolutely wise. I want you to say, you know, karmic fear would say, oh, they only want me when the going's going well. Well, catch yourself there and say, when you're in alignment, that's also what magnetizes union. So which side of the half empty or half full glass do you want to drink from there? What is the energy going forward here? Advice, curiosity. So before I even read this, I'm hearing, be curious about those things that you tell yourself are absolutes regarding whether the love is here or if this is for you or not. And really you could look at it one way, or what would the other way of looking at it be? What would the flip side of that one particular way be? And do some reverse engineering here. Curiosity supports our intrinsic inquisitive nature, which is the necessary driving force behind any growth and evolution. So you have to be curious if the assumptions that you have made in previous energies still hold true. That's what the masculines are up to here while they come to terms with the fact that they're allowed to make judgments or make decisions based on what feels good to them or not, and that you know, you can't say or do the wrong thing to the right person. If that person is meant to continue on with you, it's going to find its way in the mix. And so be curious. If you still want to manifest with this specific person, be curious how you can work around those deal breakers or those sticky energies or the obstacles, and ask, is there another way to look at this? If I want growth here, can I bring an angle of growth in as an approach? Can I dare to believe there is a progressive way to look at this cap? So it's this beautiful advice. Stay the course with what you want to see success in, feminines. Okay, what can we see for, what do the divine masculines know that you are mirroring in them right now at this time? What is the shared mirror that they're aware of? I just saw 1212 when I said that. How cool. Okay, so this is a card of reciprocity. I have like 5 cards here, 4, and this is the only one that came in the upright. I don't know what the others are, but what are you mirroring? Your desire to only have reciprocated love. I actually channeled in a private reading today that worldly relationships don't have reciprocity. Not truly. Only ascended, conscious relationships understand what reciprocity really is outside of the survival mode, the neediness, the codependency. Reciprocity is when we can actually see what unconditional love is and exchange that, free from agenda and motive. And so they see you as somebody who does not want to have the control freak, lower vibrational matrix relationships. They see you as maybe not having had that yet, maybe not having had that with them, but wanting to have that and freeing yourself beyond it. So, you know, in some regard, you've shown them that you're not like the other ones. You're not like the rest of them. And you keep showing up in that energy, which is actually making a believer out of them, I just heard. Yeah. So they know that you mirror this desire for authenticity and truth, for enlightenment, for accuracy, for heavenly guidance, so to speak. They know that you are somebody who wants it authentically, that is not just there for the fair weather love or pretending it's good. They know you want the real deal. Somehow they have seen reflected in you someone who equally wants the real thing. Wow. What's the backstory for this? Queen of Cups, psychic, intuitive, about this 10 of Cups. So they know that you devote your sense of vision. You are a visionary, and that it's not so outlandish, that you can actually see what would be beneficial and you strive for that. You don't fall short. You hit the mark. So they see you practicing what you preach, not adding insult to injury, not being karmic. They don't see you being condemning. They don't see you picking at their flaws. They don't see you hitting them while they're down. They don't see you being rude. They see you keeping your eye on what really matters and never wavering from that. They see you as authentically who you say you are. You're not too good to be true. This is fostering a deep desire for commitment. Many of these masculines have had the player rap. And in my case, a mutual friend absolutely told me that she thought my counterpart was a player and that he was just like that. And I said, no, I see this incredibly deep beauty in him that has never found somebody worthy of going really deep with. Not actually. And so, of course, we're going to be in superficial energy until we actually have a reason to go deeper. I think a lot of players out there are very wise, and at the same time, they want pleasure, they want to explore, they want to dabble, they want to see what's out there, but they also are very skittish because they don't want to be bound into the wrong thing. And if we're just looking for a good time, it's very seldom that it's the real thing. And so, yeah, this is a beautiful thing. Just because somebody is a player doesn't mean they haven't been, erring on the side of caution and just never found something worthy of going deeper with. Princess of Cups, the Empress, the Lovers, and Wishing. So they see that you are wishing to not be airy-fairy about love, to be practical, grounded, realistic. They also see that you haven't fully received your abundance in some ways, that you're not perfect, but they also see that they're not perfect. It's like also dawning on them that you're not on a pedestal. They see the humanity in you. I'm actually even getting a weird message I've never had before where they've seen your shortcomings in the past, and instead of having you on the pedestal, sometimes they thought that you were falling short. But now they realize it's because you were at a stage of development where you were specializing in a deeper foundation than what was on the surface. And, you can't judge a book by the cover. It's like, with many people, there could be worse things, like the tip of the iceberg. If you open that can of worms, there could be a whole lot of inconvenient, troublesome things under the surface. They're realizing now that you are surface, you express, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and that when you talk about something that's going on for you, it isn't the tip of the iceberg in a negative way. That's you bearing your soul. You're that transparent. It doesn't indicate there's a deeper foe lurking. For you, you are who you are. What you see is what you get. What you express is who you are. So they're very much realizing that they've always been given your most authentic, accurate expression of self. Wow. They know that they're like that too. And that's why they are of such minimal words, I just heard, because they express when they have epiphanies. They express when they've come to an awareness. They don't just chatter karmically while they're developing a consensus or a surety about something. They keep it to themselves and they buckle down and they learn the darn thing. And then they speak from that wisdom. That is the true gift of divine masculine energy. And the divine feminines should take heed from that. Divine feminines should be more like that and appreciate that about themselves and their masculines more. I truly believe. Look at how when you're communicating with your incredible masculine feminines, how they can say so much with so very little. Their timing, their expression is so succinct. This is why, is because they don't drag anybody through the karmic mud with them. They get it done internally and then they speak from that wisdom. And so they're starting to see that you are sort of like that you have been expressing, but it's not the can of worms. It's that very honest. They're also seeing that you're both becoming believers in true love, and that you haven't necessarily, had the agenda where you've been saying and doing certain things because you've had an end game. It's like you're going through the mysterious reveal with them, and you're delighted like a child in the discovery of this love as well. It's like they can see that the things that you are expressing and doing are firsts for you. That, you know, they may have judged you again as naive in the past or as underdeveloped or something like that. And now they realize you're just that pure, that you may not have been so far ahead of them in some sense, that you are just genuinely coming to these things. That's blowing their mind, I just heard. Because that is showing them that they aren't the only one that hasn't had these real things figured out, and that a lot of people pretend, and they see you as somebody that doesn't pretend. Oh my gosh, the divine masculines are really, really in an extraordinary place right now mentally. So if your masculine is a little bit quiet or in their own bubble right now, wow, masculines. And I have seen that in private readings, that a lot of them are just sort of in spaciousness in the connections at this time. And yes, what they want is wanting them. They're realizing now that they have wanted you all along and that you've been wanting them all along. So they see this mirroring. You are really very much showing them that this is available to them. What would they say to you about this mirroring? Do you think about me too? Definitely. So they used to wonder, now they don't. Now they know. It's this tower moment here has really shaken them up, and they understand that even when they don't have to ask you to know. You are now able to show them something that you're doing, something in the energy, some action, something you have said shows them even when they don't ask. And if I ask you to stay, would you leave? Now they know that if they come forward and ask you to be part of their life for the long term, you're not going to go. At least in the inverse here, they are gaining that foundation with the 4, that they can believe that. You know, a lot of times we don't receive the love that is potentially there because we're afraid it will hurt us in the end. We're afraid of that success as well. If we open the door to it, we know it's going to snowball into something beautiful. And we're like, are we ready for this? Am I ready for, there's no going back, no holds barred? Am I ready to be all in like that? And so we don't give it our all. We don't receive. We don't allow it to come in. We don't connect with it on that level. You can tell when someone is all in by the way they voluntarily share what they are seeing and where they're coming from. You know, and when the masculines are sure, it will be very evident in every aspect that they are 100% here for it. Divine masculines do that. You can convince someone to be with you if they're not in their empowerment. You can manifest or you can manipulate into a karmic scenario if you go full bore with that. But these connections are teaching us how to align with them, and these masculines are divine, and they are very much on this path of conscious relationship as well. What do we see energetically? Temple of eventual destiny. So for the vast majority of people watching this, you are en route for union. Absolutely. And this is the process. This is the unfolding of it. This is the bonding, the trust building, the collaborating union as it unfolds along the journey. Benevolence, spiritual progression, and enlightenment. These are the things that we are learning on this journey that validate, that warrant lifelong partnership. What can we see for advice for my viewer? Healing. So we got this for the masculines the other day, that there is a deep process of healing right now. That's what they wanted more than anything. Healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. So this came out in the inverse. So, you know, do your own healing. Allow for the facts of your reality to support you rather than harm you. You are farther ahead than you've ever been. Keep on that growth edge of making healthy choices, setting healthy boundaries, not going into weakness, feminines. doing the golden rule. What you would like to see done to you, do it when no one's looking. Do that with regard to your masculine when no one's looking. And that doesn't mean waiting. That means living your life, making your choices, doing the choices you would want your masculine to make sight unseen regarding you. Consider them, be in that unity consciousness. Don't be in waiting. Actively live your life, trust your decisions, and only do things in that light of that golden rule. If this is the person you're manifesting with, don't bring a wobble in by doing something you wouldn't want your masculine to do, because the energy in true divine connections is mirrored. If you do something, you're going to see proof in your reality that your masculine did that thing that you wouldn't have wanted if you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Do the healing so you don't bring any of those counterintuitive actions or deeds, passive aggressive, wounded, acting out, insecure things from your side. Be impeccable. Feminines, love yourself the way you deserve to be loved by your counterpart. Okay, syncs. What are some synchronistic things that the masculines are experiencing? What have they actually experienced regarding synchronicity? The timing, that they gone but not gone. Like, this is the uncanny thing about these connections, is no matter how much they try to let go or think that here we go, this is it, we're done, we're never coming back, it doesn't change the love one iota. It is always a growth process. It's uncanny. So the ways in which you're pulled back in, like, they see all the things in the fabric of reality. They know that your name or, everything conspires to keep them hovering in the energy, even when it's not a period of focal time together. You're both in each other's hearts. You're never out of each other's consciousness for long. Even when there's a pushback, it still draws back in. So this is what they see. They see, especially when they try to, treat this like a 3D relationship and push away and say never, that this connection, that doesn't change anything. It changes nothing. It just gives a different near and far perspective so that they can learn different aspects. Okay, what can we see as the backstory for this? Yeah, exactly. During these times of the Hangman energy, they have epiphanies that brings them back in. So no matter how much time or space or distance on any level, emotionally, mentally, or physically, inevitably they have an aha moment at very least that draws them back in. Okay, what is energetically transpiring? Harmonic oscillator, timing, rhythm, synchronization, and frequency. Oscillation is an either or. It's a back and forth. And so in these times of closeness and space, near and far, there is a rhythm being struck. There is a trust being built. There's a foundation being laid. There is a synchronicity happening. There's a synchronization of the two of you. And that's what it feels like. We see synchronicity when we are synchronizing and quantumly, pairing, twinning, coming together, merging. And so they see evidence of this because you're on a shared merging timeline. They see this happening, that you are a fundamental part of their becoming, their balancing out, their healing. What would they say to you about this? Okay, there's someone else in the inverse. So if there was any options, nobody compares to you. They don't need something else because there has been sufficient merging happen that third energies are actually paling in comparison and being released because nobody is matching them in this long-standing, consistent coming in to center. And I never imagined so much perfection. So they have imagined so much perfection, but they never imagined it would befall them, show up in front of their face. They never imagined that somebody with all of the makings of their perfect person would actually land on their doorstep, I just heard. So yeah, like when they're honest, you do check 1,000 of their boxes too. What is the advice for the feminines watching? Abundance. This is the Empress card in the inverse. We had it in the inverse to begin with. This says, abundance activates our ability to manifest the wealth we need and the sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart and soul that are overflowing with love and gratitude. So this is saying that divine feminines, you're meant to really look at your own financial abundance, your own root chakra healing, your own wholeness, your own ability to support yourself and thrive as coming from your good attitude, your positive attitude of love and gratitude. So when you are accountable with having that as a way of life, your abundance, your heavenly inheritance, your higher dimensional blessing is going to be coming in. And that's when you become magnetic to your wealth, to your abundance, is when you literally align with love and gratitude as a way of life. That is what magnetizes this. So this is the advice, and union is on your highest timelines, along with you having the worthiness that is grateful and filled with love at being alive, at being in this existence. That is what brings in more abundance, because that's the attitude that is the most accountable with that amount. If you are sneaky, shady, stealing, lying, cheating to get there, you're not accountable and it's going to be pulled away. If you learn how to resonate and be in gratitude for the amount of love, it will never be taken from you. It's like a kaleidoscope. It just becomes an abundant expression of blessing, of the whole in your life. And this brings in the appreciation of your counterpart that does not have a lower vibrational filter over how you view relationship or this person or your worthiness for love-filled relationship. All of it. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. What are they telling others about their counterpart? What are the masculines telling the divine or friends, family, co-workers about you? Ooh! Wifey, mother of children. This is the mother, the physical mother card. Maybe that they don't care if their mothers will like you. They're saying that you are their future. Quite frankly, that you're not fully in their life the way that they want you to be, but that you have the makings of being the one. So they are saying that it's not quite time yet, but I think I've met the one. They're saying that. What do you need to know about this? What is the background? So they are admitting this. Okay, they have also admitted that they have tried to cut you out of their life. And so some of these people may have been aware of you previously when you first met, or, you know, they might be more aware of you than you think. And this is the kind of conversation where the masculines are eating crow and they're having to tell certain people, this isn't going to apply for everyone, but for those whose friends, family, or co-workers knew about you, they're having to say that they were spastastic and premature with cutting you out. They're having to be neutral about it. So some of them are very articulate and saying that the energy just wasn't right, that one or the other, there was stuff going on, there were circumstances and it wasn't flowing, but that wasn't because you weren't perfect for them. It was a logistics, it was a timing, it was a circumstantial issue. They're also confessing that they were head over heart, that they were not maneuvering in letting you in on the deepest receptive levels. They also are talking about certain things in your life that were not allowing for this connection to be fully there, that you had to cut out, with the Queen of Swords there, that they've loved you regardless, and that some of those things that they were waiting to see if it was going to transpire are actually transpiring, and they're feeling like it's coming into more of a readiness, more of a potential, that they haven't wanted to get their hopes up or ahead of themselves, and that sometimes when they had expectation in the past, they weren't able to stay with it and trust and believe. So they're also talking about how mature they're becoming and patient and wise, and how they have been they've been more fickle in the past. So they are admitting this. They're having major heart-to-hearts. What would they say to you about what they're saying to others? Such good reading. I think we should slow down on the fence. So they're not so worried about the timing anymore. In the past, many of them were putting space in and putting the brakes on out of frustration or impulsivity, and all they really wanted was to slow it down. It wasn't that they wanted you gone. They just didn't know how to take a break in a more unconditionally loving model. They did it in a karmic way, and so they may have given you the wrong idea. Now they're seeing that this love is not hindered by the cycles beginning and ending, that it is a constant, that it is real. And so now they understand that when they need space, they can just ask for space. They don't need to be all or nothing deal breaker. They don't have to fear that it may never come back together again, because they know it's standing the test of time. Beautiful. What is the energetics angle that's playing out regarding this? Ceremonies, yeah, so this is literally, that can be wedding ceremonies or promise rings. I just heard this can be a vow that they're vowing to their friends that you will be theirs, that you are theirs, that they're going to make it formally apparent in the near future or in the future. So they're speaking it out. It's like, mark my words, this is my person, and I always hoped it was my person, but we're really getting somewhere now. And if it's the last thing I do, this is what I want. So they are very much focused on you as the one. But they are also realizing that these cycles that they used to fear were the deal breaker and it was over, that they are now realizing these are just cycles of growth, like rings in a tree. It's annual cycles or monthly cycles or whatever it may be. They're realizing that there is a way to look at it that's, it's eternal love. It has no beginning or end. I'm seeing that card that I hear other readers use. With us, there is no end. So they're coming into that. And this is what they're talking to others about, that they're learning about the nature of reality, that they have somebody that there's a timeless love with. And what is the advice for the feminines? Transformation. Transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through times of transition, allowing the old to make room for the new. Exactly, there's no ending. It's just spaciousness being created in old, outdated paradigms that is allowing for grace to infill with new understanding, new vision for the future, new paths of progress. Transformation is taking what's already there and using it in genius new ways. And that's what's happening here. And that's what they're talking to their peers, their friends, their family about, is that they see now what the nature of transformation is. That means they are becoming the alchemists, the magicians that are able to confidently take any lower vibrational thing and believe that, at least in this connection where you are concerned, that the two of you have what it takes to overcome any obstacle. Ooh! Okay, what's this last one? Where are they at with, with the obstacles that have been there in the past? Where are the masculines at with regard to obstacles? Well, here's the transformation butterfly. They're taking a more neutral approach, and they are truly seeing that there is no real thing like an obstacle. It's all subjective. It's all within our control. Oh, there's a hidden card? No, there's not. And they are persevering. They've got this perseverance to neutralize any of the concerns they have had about any deal breaker from the past. Anything that they were able to point the finger at and say, this love can never be mine, curses, because of X, Y, Z. Those things are no longer even close to being lording power over this love, is what I heard. What would they say to you about this, divine feminines? We are getting one wand and No. Okay, so they're still fighting the temptation, but the passion is rising. They just don't want to act on it yet. So sun showers, they don't quite know why it's a hesitancy. I think it has to do with them still needing to talk to friends and family and to really work through some of the things that will set the stage for this in the physical. And so divine masculines who are watching, yes, the passion's here, but you're also getting these red flags that it's not quite time yet. It's okay. Don't let that freak you out. That doesn't mean that your feminine is wrong. It means that you are learning to impeccably trust your intuition and don't force something that doesn't feel good. I'm going to get some advice. What can we see for the masculines who are in this no energy? Queen of Cups and Seven of Swords. Okay, so this might be about your feminine. You know, there might be things that your feminine has to balance out and intuitively that are going on behind the scenes, and this is likely you picking up on divine timing. Divine timing is when it's good and true and right for all involved, and you're becoming an impeccable protector of the timing of this. And so don't make it that it's not, you know, appropriate for you to feel so much passion. Just understand this is you coming into your mastery, and you're wise to not want to force things when it doesn't feel fully right, when it feels off in any way. But there's something that your feminine needs to understand about the nature of this connection that you may not be aware of, that this pause, that this intuitive knowing that it's not quite time yet is affording your feminine. But it's also helping you hone heeding your own intuition and respecting your own judgment call there impeccably. Bravo, masculines, because the passion is clearly through the roof. And there also seems to be this life purpose, this higher calling and new creative outlets and ideas emerging. And so it might be a time for you to design a little bit more and to feel into maybe changes of career, changes of path, any major life changes that allow you to be more fully who you're meant to be, who you know yourself to be, your fullest free-spirited expression. Whatever's coming up that would need to foster or facilitate more of you being able to come and go as you please spontaneously, like just everything in your life that would help you shine your light in the world. If there are obvious things going on in your life, circumstances on your side of it, masculines, that are limiting what is available for you to do that way, then you need to take this pause and not go forward to your feminine. You know, it's not just finances or basic living things. It's also these energetic confines that the matrix reality gives us that limit. We play small. So this is anywhere that you're playing small, you're meant to be freeing yourself. And just know that when that's going on in your energy, that is always mirrored in your divine or conscious true life partnership. It's going to be mirrored. And in this case, the feminines are needing to tap into their intuition and honor the love here, even when you might not be showing up fully. So it's not about playing games, but this is the backstory of how that energy works harmoniously between the two, even when you're not conscious of it. All you need to do is understand and own when it feels right or not to come forward or not, because sometimes it's not a point the finger and blame the other. It's the divine timing, which means that harmonic resonance that works best for all. What is the energetic thing that's playing out? Golden seed, light, wholeness, warmth, and well-being. It was in the reverse. So the protection of these connections is what's playing out here. Divine timing is when these connections are truly set on this fully empowered energy. It's close. It's on the table here. What is the advice for the feminines? Oh my gosh, third chakra. This is the empowerment card. It also came out in the inverse. Solar plexus helps us to realize who we are and who we want to be, so we can set a course towards our goals. So this is about you becoming more fully you, divine feminines, and not even having these incredible, beautiful relationships tell you who you are. That brings up worthiness. That brings up all kinds of ways of the mirror of who you are. This is you to design who you are and how you want your reality to be reflected based on how you assess yourself and what you want to cultivate and where you're going. So these relationships in that depiction are in escrow, waiting for you to figure out who you are so they can complement you in the highest. Many blessings, everyone. Wasn't that fun? That was so fun. That was another pretty reading, a pretty bridging reading. I love it. We're building pretty bridges for each other, left, right, and center, through all the chakras. All of them, every last one of them. Beautiful. Okay, bye for now.